Namaskar. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new to my channel, hi, this is Pooja and I make videos on topics related to physics and science. In this video, we'll be talking about the pulse mode, the pulse height spectra,
the counting curves and plateaus, energy resolution, detection efficiency and dead time
of radiation detectors. Let us start with the video. Do keep on watching and do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and please hit the like button, do support us and do let us know how you feel about the video. So when operating a radiation detector in pulse mode, each individual pulse amplitude carries important information regarding the charge generated by that particular radiation interaction in the detector. If we examine a large number of such pulses, their amplitudes will not all be same. Variations may be due either to differences in the radiation energy or to fluctuations in the inherent response of the detector to the monoenergetic radiation. The pulse amplitude distribution is a fundamental property of the detector output that is routinely used to deduce information about the incident radiation or the operation of the detector itself. Now, the most common way of displaying a pulse amplitude information is through the differential pulse height distribution. So, this figure gives a hypothetical distribution for purpose of an example. The abscissa is a linear pulse amplitude scale that runs from 0 to a value larger than the amplitude of any pulse observed from the source. The ordinate is the differential number dn of pulses observed within the differential amplitude increment dh divided by that increment, or dn by dh. So the horizontal scale has units of pulse amplitude or volts, and the vertical scale has units of volt inverse. The number of pulses whose amplitude lies between two specific values h1 and h2 can be obtained by integrating the area under the distribution between those two limits as shown by the cross-hatched area. So the number of pulses with amplitude between h1 and h2 is, and the total number of pulses n0 represented by the distribution can be obtained by integrating the area under the entire spectrum. So most users of radiation instrumentation are accustomed to looking at the shape of the differential pulse heights distribution to display significant features about the source of pulses. The maximum pulse height observed here, that is h5, is simply the point along the abscissa at which the distribution goes to 0. So peaks in the distribution such as h4, they indicate the pulse amplitudes about which a large number of pulses may be found. On the other hand, valleys or low points in the spectrum such as the pulse height h3 indicate values of the pulse amplitude around which relatively few pulses occur. And the physical interpretation of differential pulse height spectra always involves area under the spectrum between the two given limits of pulse height. So the value of this ordinate itself has no physical significance until and unless it is multiplied by the increment of the abscissa, that is dh. Okay, so now if this is clear, then so a less common way of displaying the same information about the distribution of pulse amplitude is through the integral pulse height distribution. So this figure shows the integral distribution for the same pulse source displayed as differential spectrum in the previous figure. The abscissa in the integral case is the same pulse height scale shown for the differential distribution. The ordinate now represents the number of pulses whose amplitude exceeds that of a given value of the abscissa h. The ordinate n must always be a monotonically decreasing function of h, because fewer and fewer pulses will lie above an amplitude h that is allowed to increase from 0. So because all pulses have some finite amplitude, the value of the integral spectrum at h is equal to 0 must be the total number of pulses observed, that is n0. the value of the integral distribution must decrease to 0 at the maximum observed pulse height h5. The differential and integral distributions convey exactly the same information and one can be derived from the other. The amplitude of differential distribution at any pulse height h is given by the absolute value of the slope of the integral distribution at the same value. So where peak appears in the differential distribution h4, local maxima will occur in the magnitude of the slope of the integral distribution. On the other hand, where minima appear in the differential spectrum such as h3, regions of minimum magnitude of the slope are observed in the integral distribution. So since it is easier to display these differences through the differential distribution, it has become the predominant means of displaying the pulse height distribution information. So I hope you like this video and it wasn't that boring. I'll be back with my next video.